Hello friends, Eric Willis here, and I have a treat for us. As we launch Rooted and Resilient, I thought it'd be kind of cool if you got to meet the editor of the book. This is Byron. Hi, Byron.
Hey, good to be seen.
Yes, and so it's kind of rare that you get to hear from the editor, but God really put this together, and I thought it was such a cool story that I wanted you to hear it. Byron, tell us a little bit about yourself and the editing piece and how we met. Just share what you want to share.
Well, it was real fun to meet you at a coaching conference and do one of these one-on-one practicums with you. Mm-hmm. And I said, there's a guy that seems nice and with it. And so I just decided to find out what you do, and you gave me your card, coaching. Mm-hmm. Well, I needed a coach. So looked you up and said, this is going to work. This is going to work very well. Mm-hmm. In no small part because I have been experienced in the things you're talking about, especially when it comes to resilience, needing it and finding it, but needing to really nail that down and get that systemized, which your book definitely does.
Yeah.
And also because of the healing of ruptures, I would call it. Mm-hmm. And of course, sacred conflict was the first thing that I gobbled up from you.
Yep.
Your book on that. So then when you asked me to be editorially involved, I thought, well, wait a minute. That's kind of a double whammy. Mm-hmm. So we've got coaching, content that I need and would benefit from, and a lot of the people I've worked with in the past would benefit from. And then you needed the editorial skills that I brought to the table. So it was a beautiful thing.
So a professional editor, professional coach come together, and it's a beautiful thing. And so here you are. You said yes to edit the book, and it's material that, yes, from an editorial perspective, you're looking at the nuances of that and giving great editorial feedback to me, while at the same time positioning it for your own journey in life, having years of ministry experience under your belt. But as an editor, what drew you to Rooted and Resilient? And you gave some incredible feedback, editorial feedback, and I'm honestly, this book would not be half of what it is today without Byron's input on it. So as you were providing those editorial inputs, what were you processing? What was the thought process involved with that?
It's easy to get stuck in the leaves of the trees in the forest when you're doing that, because proofing is one thing, but you didn't need much of that. What I saw was something that was high level, and yet you were bringing it down. Your core audience of pastors was well placed, and I thought, now there's a cause I could get behind. So that was one thing that drew me. First, drew me was you and your coaching, and of course the need there, and the flow that I got into with the calling and experience of my editing. Yeah. It was a beautiful thing, and you made that very, very fulfilling, substantive, and turned it into flow because you were very open. I find that when you're editing someone's work, especially when it's a life work, based on your dissertation and all your experience and your calling and your mission and vision, you need to be walking in step with the Spirit, very tender with the heartfelt ownership of this. But I found myself owning it because of what was in it and because of you. So you were in the book. You are in the book.
Yeah. Still.
It does have your name on it. Twin sons of different mothers.
We do. We even planned our outfit together.
I'm telling you what.
This is crazy.
Our mothers dress us, but hey, So, when I found the practical nature of it, I said, oh, Lord, thank you for bringing this man along in my life if for no other reason. The 1, 2, 3 charted, substantial systemizing that you did, which I very much need. I'm a ball of wax guy, and I'm seeing connections on everything, so I will ADHD you to death. But that's one thing that editing does for me, by the way. It constrains me to what it is that the author intends to get across. But I also can't help but put myself in it. So here's what happened.
Yep.
I said, this is not to be kept just for pastors.
Yep. You did say that.
This is too good for the people that I spent 20 years at Campus Crusade with, Campus Crusade for Christ, now called Cru, and with the other parachurch ministry that I've been involved in. And just lay pastors, people who just give through the church, officially, unofficially,
Yeah.
that kind of thing. They need this too.
So when you read that in the preface of who this book is for, it is heavily influenced by Byron and his challenging me from an editorial perspective to expand who this audience is. And it is for you if you're a believer in Jesus Christ. And the way I worded it was, if you have spiritual influence over another person, then this book is for you. Whether you're pastor, missionary, bivocational, volunteer, deacon, elder, Sunday school teacher, small group leader, we could just go on and on and on.
Missionary, raise your own support, whatever.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you'll see that throughout the book, and that is heavily influenced by the editing of Byron. So.
Well, thank you for the credit, and I give credit because the ownership that people have of their own stuff is usually tied to their identity so fully that they can't stand to be edited.
Oh, I needed it.
and you know, the humility here is really was such a refresher to me. So not only was it a good, I keep using the word, but substantial run for me, and I'm back into the book. I'm telling you, this is going to help me do my life in a much more efficient way, but not just efficient. It's going to help me really keep in mind and in heart, shall we say, what's the most important kind of thing to do. And I love the permissions you give, by the way. There's a lot we could talk about content-wise, but one of the bottom liners that I'm using in my work with men and in my writing in the future is going to be permission, just a key word. And so treat yourself well. Do the thriving so that you won't just be surviving.
Yeah.
Can't give what you ain't got. Don't burn out, and those kinds of things. But it goes a lot more into the meat than those little bumper stickers.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So I found myself being ministered to in the editorial process.
Well, thank you for being the editor of Rooted and Resilient, and also a participant in the Rooted and Resilient coaching process.
There you go.
And we call that R&R coaching. And so, Rooted and Resilient, here it is. It is out there. Go get you a copy on Amazon. I'll put the link in the comments below. But Byron, thank you, my friend.
Thank you.
God bless.
Bless you.